again for the umpteenth time. I apologize about the goddamn technical difficulties. They're bugging the hell out of me, too. I am ready to flip out over the technical difficulties, and I hope you can hear me out there in the wonderful YouTube world. All right, we are good to go. We are set. We're going to restart everything fresh as a daisy and redo everything all over again. Go to ProWrestlingTees.com and buy my merch, Referee T-Bone Jones, in the Doghouse merch on there too. Make sure you go buy some. Also, big shout out to Capgo Championship Belts. Capgo Championship Belts. Go there, get all your belt needs. They make everything for you. Also, check out GWBHotSauce.com. Order all those great hot sauce flavors. He's got everything. West Virginia Gold, apple and cinnamon. He got it all, man. And it's hybrid blends. They're great flavors. And use discount code TBONE, all caps. Get 10% discount. GWBHotSauce.com. Also, W Energy. Go there. Use discount code TBONE in all caps. Get 10% discount from W Energy. Next to me is our special guest. This is episode 33, by the way. Special guest, Nashville recording artist, Ruthanne Cain. I'm sorry, Ruthanne, about all the technical difficulties.
It's okay, Jay. You know, things happen. And I wouldn't be the first musician to go on late because of like a technical difficulty or like a sound check going bad.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's
definitely
life.
A lot of sound checks.
But you know what? I am going to play some songs tonight that are going to be live and unedited, and that's what I'm really best at. I did make an album in Nashville, and that was quite the experience. I think we'll get on to some of those questions later, but you've got some things that you really thought you'd start out asking me. So go ahead, whatever you got.
We're going to restart these questions because we had this like our fourth take. I apologize to anybody out there that's logging in, going live, and then jumping off with us. We had so much technical difficulties. We're working out the bugs and kinks of this new system and doing things differently in this new format of 4K cameras and all that happy jazz. So bear with me as I'm getting used to everything.
It is very high quality. You're right.
Yes, I'm trying. I'm trying very hard. My wife's in the comments said, "Love you, Ruthanne."
Oh, thank you, Sarah. She's such a sweetheart, and that's your wife, and she and I are besties, and met at the Hilton Garden Inn. It was fancy.
When did you first become interested in music?
Oh, that is pretty much an easy question because I've always been interested in music. When I was a little girl and I would be riding in the car with my cousins, they still tell the stories of how I would sing about everything that was going on outside and sing about what was happening in the car. And, I would be in my car seat. So that was quite some years ago. And then my name is Ruthanne, Ruthanne. My mother named me that because my grandmother's name was Ruth Rogers. And that woman was the head of the music department at Salem College. She was the head choir director at Salem Seventh-day Baptist Church until she was no longer even physically able to direct that choir.
Wow.
So those are my first musical interests, and just about as long as I can remember, I've been interested in music.
Awesome. So who was your inspiration besides your grandma Ruth?
Well, as we were talking about earlier, we'll recap and we'll go back to the era of cassette tapes and how I used to walk around with my Walkman in the house listening to Madonna and Janet Jackson and, The Little Mermaid sometimes. There were a lot of ladies that I listened to when I was growing up. Oh, Mariah Carey, just women with excellent voices that I hoped someday to be able to imitate. And now I feel like I got my wish. I have kind of manifested into some of those ladies, a blend, a mixture.
Awesome. How many instruments do you play?
I'd have to add it up. I play guitar primarily. That is, I have an undergraduate degree in vocal performance. So some people might major in trumpet. They might major in piano. But that is not to say I didn't take piano lessons from a very young age. My father was a keyboardist. He was one of those keyboardists that could play two keyboards on this hand and maybe like 2 or 3 on this hand.
Oh, wow.
And he was in a band called Neon Cactus when I was growing up. And that was a very locally famous country rock band in the 90s. They opened for Eddie Rabbitt and, some other big names. He was very close to being signed, but the lead singer of that band, I think his wife, maybe I should leave it out of it. Never mind. There was drama.
Yeah, he had personal trouble.
You just don't want your hubby going out on the road full time, and it was going to come to that.
Yeah.
So, things happen. You get music for a season sometimes.
Yep. You want to go ahead and play your first song?
I do. I would love to play my first song. And I actually kind of grew up in a church with my dad as a pastor, my grandmother as a church choir director. So you might not expect that I'm going to play the song that I'm about to play. But I find that, number one, nobody's really covering it because Jelly Roll did it so well. But I heard it on the radio and I'm like, I think I can do that. So this is kind of like my version of a Jelly Roll rock and roll song. Talk to God when I need a favor, and I only pray when I ain't got a prayer. So who the hell am I to expect a savior? If I only talk to God when I need a favor, well, God, I need a favor. I know Amazing Grace, but I ain't been living them words. Swear I spend most Sundays drunk off my ass than I have in church. Hardcover King James, only been saving dust on the nightstand. I don't know what to say by the time I fold my hands, but I only talk to God when I need a favor, and I only pray when I ain't got a prayer. So who the hell am I to expect a savior? Oh, if I only talk to God when I need a favor, but God, I need a favor. Amen. Amen. Yeah, I owe you more than one, and beggars can't be choosers. But I'll pay for all I've done. Just please don't let me lose her. I only talk to God when I need a favor, and I only pray when I ain't got a prayer. So who the hell am I to expect a savior? If I only talk to God when I need a favor, well, God, I need that favor. Oh, amen. Amen. Hanging in there, just barely throwing up prayers like Hail Mary, if you're still there. Lord, spare me. Oh my God, Hail Mary, hanging in there, just barely throwing up prayers like Hail Mary, if you're still there. Lord, spare me. Oh my God, Hail Mary. I only talk to God when I need a favor, and I only pray when I ain't got a prayer. So who the hell am I to expect a savior? If I only talk to God when I need a favor, well, God, I need a favor. Amen. Amen.
Awesome. Great stuff. Awesome.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Sound great.
All right. Well, that'll open us up. You know, I always like to open it up with a prayer.
Absolutely. Yeah. We needed a prayer.
That's right. So just put your mind at ease. It's going to be fine. We got plenty more to go.
What was it like recording in Nashville?
Surreal. Like, as it's happening for you, like, you know it's happening. You're freaking out inside, but you can't act that way because you're hanging around all these famous people. You don't want to seem the fool. But, you know, you don't, a lot of people didn't have the luck that I had in Nashville. A lot of people had more, clearly. A lot of people clearly had more luck than I had. I feel like that's the line from Cream. If it wasn't for bad luck, I wouldn't have no luck at all. I sang that to myself all the time, you know. But I did get to hang out with a very well-known audio engineer, and that man was so private. I don't even today want to say his name out loud, but you know, if you want the proof, you can find the album, you can find his name in the credits. He's there because he helped me record the record, all of original material that I brought there in blank books that weren't blank anymore because I'd filled them from one end to the other with songs and poetry and all of that sort of thing. And he had me come over to his place one time, and I picked up one of his guitars and played him a song that I wrote. And he just kind of sat there with his mouth hanging open, and he said, "You about stripped the paint off my walls. We're going to record that." And that's what we did.
Awesome.
And that man was working for Alice in Chains at the time. That's the big name drop, you know.
Okay.
Those guys really helped me out. It was my first really big tour that I got to go on, the backstage experience, the tour bus experience, the limo picking you up at the airport and taking you all access to the Gibson Amphitheater. And, you know, in California, it's pretty crazy stuff, but good memories. He told me at the time, he said, "These are the times you're going to remember for the rest of your life." And he was right. He was right. So
that's awesome.
Thanks to that guy still for helping me put out that first record, First Murder. Ruthanne Cain. C-A-I-N.
It is on YouTube. You can find it.
Yeah, so Ruthanne was the R-U-T-H-A-N-N-E. Cain, C-A-I-N, like Cain and Abel. It went over a lot of people's head if I don't explain it that way. First Murder. Get it? It was my first record. Killed it. It's pretty good.
Absolutely. That's awesome.
Good
times. While recording in Nashville, you've bound to have bumped into some big names. Who have you gotten to play with on stage, behind scenes, private jam sessions, whatever? Who have you gotten to play with?
Oh gosh, there's so many people, and so many people that, like, again, were for that season. Like, close people that you kind of get in those jam sessions with, sometimes they want to remain private. They do. That's why they're private jams, you know. And you know, people that you've dated, things where it got a little bit this way or that way, and you know, you just don't want to embarrass the people like that. But there were definitely people along the way that influenced me, or I influenced them, and music kind of happened. So I mean, there was one kind of sort of famous guy that would write for TV shows. He had a lot of jingles, and we wrote a song called The Pill Bottom Blues, but we never really released it. It never really, you know what I mean? It was a fantastic song to listen to it. You're like, that's a Nashville song. He had a whole recording studio in his upstairs.
Oh, wow.
So you know, there were people that turned their recording studios out of barns. I walked into one recording studio. It looked like a barn from the outside, and inside there was a full-size grand piano. There had to have been 100 guitars hanging on the walls.
Wow.
The recording studio was over here, fat leather sofas, like stupid amount of money. You know, mixing tables as big as this table, you know, 100 channels.
Holy moly.
Yeah. Things that I've seen that I haven't, you know, seen in a while, but they do exist, and those people do exist. Those jam sessions are real. And occasionally one of them comes out as a really good song. So.
Awesome. Okay, you want to play another
one?
Yeah,
let's.
Go ahead. And then we'll ask some more questions.
All right.
If there's anybody out there watching that wants to ask questions, feel free to get in the comments section.
Yeah.
Ask Ruthanne questions.
Sometimes I wanna take you down. Sometimes I wanna get you low. Brush your hair back from your eyes. Take you down, let the river flow. Sometimes I go and walk the street behind the green sheet of glass, a million miles below their feet. A million miles, a million miles. I'll be with you, girl, like being low. Hey, 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 like being stoned. I'll be with you, girl, like being low. Hey, 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 like being stoned. Billion poppies gonna make me sleep. Just one rose knows your name. The fruit is rusting on the vine. The fruit is calling from the trees. Hey, don't you wanna go down like some disgraced cosmonaut? A million miles below their feet. A million miles, a million miles. I'll be with you, girl, like being low. Hey, 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 like being stoned. I'll be with you, girl, like being low. Hey, 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 like being stoned. Blue, blue is the sun. Brown, brown is the sky. Green, green are her eyes. A million miles, a million miles. Hey, don't you wanna go down like some disgraced cosmonaut? A million miles beneath their feet. A million miles, a million miles. I'll be with you, girl, like being low. Hey, 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 like being stoned. I'll be with you, girl, like being low. Hey, 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 like being stoned. I'll be with you, girl, like being low. Hey, 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 like being stoned. I'll be with you, girl, like being low. Hey, 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 like being stoned.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
My take on that, you know.
I love it. I love
That's
it.
my best friend right there.
That's my best friend cheering me on. Hey, girl. Hey, thanks. Yep, we got some things. I'll sing a song by a girl next, or at least a girl singer. I'll just put that out there. I do sing girl songs. It's just a lot of rock and roll is about dudes, you know, and guys longing after ladies and other things.
Yeah, it is.
So it is. And I just, you know, and I wasn't even allowed to have a guitar until I was in my 20s. They wouldn't let me have one. I was forced to play the piano. And people just mostly pushing me out there and saying, get out there and we'll back you up. Get out there and we'll back you up. As you can see, here I be. So I learned to back myself up. I do apologize if anybody's out there thinking, that girl's not a very good guitar player. I dig her voice, but remember, I have a degree in vocal performance from Alderson Broaddus when they used to have a music department.
Wow.
And then I went on to the University of Miami and got my master's degree in music therapy. So I've had a lot of formal voice training. The guitar is secondary, but I do enjoy playing it.
So she's well educated in the music side of every aspect of music.
I tried. I didn't ever really want to stop studying it. I just kept finding ways to make it happen in my life.
That is awesome. That's awesome. Be passionate about something, find something, stick with it. You love it. You'll never work another day of your life.
Yeah, that's what I'm finding out. So,
awesome.
Thanks for having me here and letting me continue with my dream.
Are we going to hear a song that you wrote?
If I think about it, I just might. Right now? Is that a question from Sarah?
Yeah.
Are you just putting me on the spot right now? I got this whole set list of stuff that I practiced. I'll tell you what. Let me play a few more of these, and I'll keep the one that I wrote as the finale. How's that?
Okay, that works.
That'll give me some time to think about, because I haven't played any of the songs off my album for quite a minute.
Okay.
But I'm sure since I wrote it, I can remember it. It'll be fine.
What has the transition from recording artist to substitute music teacher been for you?
That's a pretty interesting question. Yeah. You're not necessarily the star anymore when you are working at an elementary school. You kind of are. These kids, you're their person they have to look up to, but some of them don't. Some of them do not appreciate all of this that I'm telling you, and they really reality check you. They make you work. They make you learn new music because some of this music isn't for them.
Yeah.
So you need to play things that are appropriate for children when you're in school. But yeah, it's been a real transition. I have enjoyed it though, because those little ones give back to me. I have received so many hugs, especially this past week since school's going to be out next week. So this is a plug as book me. I've got time. I've got availability because school is letting out next week. So my substitute music teaching gig is going to be over in a week.
Well, you were talking about rewarding, and that was my next question. What is the most rewarding part of being a substitute teacher for you? That was my next question.
Oh, was it? Well, perfect. I just kind of led right into it.
Blend it right into it.
Yeah, it's just, being a Nashville recording artist was over a decade ago. That was in my late 20s. I'm not going to...
It still counts. That's a check mark.
I know.
It still counts.
I consider it like a chessboard. Life is a chessboard. Nashville was a piece. And my University of Miami education was another piece.
There you go.
Now I've got substitute teaching as a piece in my life. I can say I did that. I thought to myself, I've got all this education. Why am I not teaching some students in West Virginia? Why am I not doing that? So with a lot of encouragement from a lot of people, I did go for it. And God worked it out. Because nobody walks into the substitute teaching world and on their first week is handed a basically full-time job till the end of the year, because this lady had a long-term disability that she needed to take some time for.
Well, see, that's awesome that you come back to our state after recording in Nashville and make time to work as a substitute teacher. That just boggles my mind that you would actually get back. And that's what we're trying to do. And that's what we're trying to do.
Did. I come from a long line of teachers, and you're right. That's what you are trying to do with this show, and I appreciate it very much.
Locals supporting locals, man.
That's right.
That's what it's all about. Like I'm blown away and fascinated to hear all the stories of Nashville and everywhere you've been. You said you were in LA too.
Well, passing. I didn't live in LA, but I have seen it. I've seen it, and it's crazy. It is crazy.
I've never been that far out. I've never been, too far away from home. So it's awesome to, meet new people that have traveled the world.
It's all there. They can't take it away from me, no matter what job you have or gig you have or thing that happens in your life that somebody tries to take it away from you. It's your life.
Yeah.
It's your memories. They're your days and nights, and nobody can take those from you.
Nobody can narrate your life. You're your own narrator.
I'm trying. I'm working on that.
That's why I started.
Yeah. That's kind of why I'll plug this too while I'm at it. I'm in a band right now, and that band is called Unplugged Echoes, and I am in that band with Eric Fuller. he's also got some other local gigs going on. You know, Josh Folmsby and the Crooked Roots, he does that group. He was the bass player for Zona Hester. I believe they're still doing some very good things here in the state and beyond even. So, but what Eric and I were working on doing was putting together some like positive, upbeat music that was from the 90s and the 2000s. And this particular song doesn't really fit that, but I'm just saying that is what we're doing, and that is something that we can do in the community as well.
Yeah,
book
absolutely.
that. That's an actual thing you can book. If you want to, you know, send me a message, we can do that. But he has some things going on right now that he's doing something else this evening, and he told me to definitely come on here and talk to you and do what we needed to do, but to definitely drop him a line like you did for the guys who do the belts and the guy that does the hot sauces, you know, local supporting locals.
Yep, absolutely.
So, this is a song we were going to cover, and I think it's one that everybody knows. Now here you go again, you say you want your freedom. Now who am I to bring you down? It's only right that you should play the way you feel it. But listen carefully to the sound of your loneliness, like a heartbeat that drives you mad. In the stillness of remembering what you had, what you lost, what you had, what you lost. Thunder only happens when it's raining. Players only love you when they're playing. All these women, they will come and they will go. But when the rain washes you clean, you'll know. You will know. Now here I go again to see the crystal vision. I keep my visions to myself. It's only me who wants to wrap around your dreams. And have you any dreams you'd like to sell? Dreams of loneliness, like a heartbeat and drive you mad. In the stillness of remembering what you had, what you lost, what you had, and what you lost. Thunder only happens when it's raining, and players only love you when they're playing. All these women, they will come and they will go. But when the rain washes you clean, you'll know. The thunder only happens when it's raining. And players only love you when they're playing. All these women, they will come and they will go. But when the rain washes you clean, you'll know. You will know.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
I told you I had a few lady songs on here.
I love your voice, man.
Thank you. I was gonna say when I was
song.
little, listening to like Stevie Nicks and Madonna and Mariah Carey, I never thought in a million years if I practiced hard enough I might sound anything like them.
You gotta.
So I love to sing the songs of ladies before me and ladies of me too.
My wife's back in the comments said, hearing you sing is very inspiring. I wish I had the guts. I think she said guts to get up there and sing my channel.
You could come up and sing this one with me, Sarah. I've got the words. I know you've heard it on the radio lately. Somebody won a Grammy for my next song. You could.
You could.
You could. Flowers by Miley Cyrus.
Well,
It's cute. It's a good song. It's a good lady song. I mean, yeah, you can say what you want about Miley Cyrus, but I mean, I think the same thing. That's what she's got. She has been singing for 40 years almost.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be like sitting down and talking to her, like, "What's your musical influences?" Your dad's Billy Ray Cyrus, number one.
Yeah.
You grew up in the music business,
and
her
godmother's Dolly Parton.
I know, so that's why I think about my dad.
Country
I'm like,
royalty.
What choice did I have?
Yeah.
This is what I was born into. I got it from my dad said I always got it bad because I got it from my mom's side and his side. So this is what you get. And then they broke the mold because I don't have any kids. So I've got plenty of availability to do whatever I want.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Where can we see you or hear you next, other than Spotify and YouTube, of course? And
well, that's true. Yes, the first Murder album is out on all streaming platforms. It has been for some time. If you just spell the name RUTHANNE, new word, CAIN, Ruthanne Cain, you will find me. If you Google me, if you do me Spotify, YouTube, however, it'll show up because I'm the only Ruthanne Cain that there is. They literally broke the mold after they made me.
That is awesome.
So don't try it. I'm copywritten.
Now, didn't you say you were going to be playing live?
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry, your question.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm so sorry. Yes, I'm going to actually play out tomorrow. I'm going to play out tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow is Friday the 23rd. And Kristen Federer, who is a very dear friend of mine and a far greater performer. She can just play and sing for 4 hours. She can sing and play forever. And she has so many great cover songs. And she's going to be at Jacoby's tomorrow night. That's in Clarksburg here. And I've already spoken to her, so this shouldn't scare anybody if you show up to see me or her and I get up and sing a few. She's got to take a break here and there, and she invited me up, so I'll be there doing that tomorrow night.
That is awesome. And hopefully with her blessing, we'll be there live tomorrow night for an In the Doghouse exclusive. So be checking the YouTube channel out. We'll be there tomorrow night, hopefully getting some live stream.
That would be awesome. I know she would definitely appreciate it. So we'll fill her in.
Yeah, hopefully she'll be good for it. Looking back at all your degrees and everything you have, you've accomplished, would you change anything? Would anything be different?
I originally imagined this. When I was 17 years old, I was already done with high school. I was already done. I didn't want any more of it. I'd taken all the advanced level classes that there were, AP English, AP Biology, all that. It was over. So I started at Fairmont State the fall of my senior year of high school.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then in the spring, I knew that I was going to go to Alderson Broaddus and major in physician assistant studies. I had early acceptance to their program.
Oh, wow.
And so I spoke to the people at Salem International University because my father was working there as a counselor at the time, and they had a tuition exchange program. I was like, my dad is working here. Can I just come take a couple college classes? We got it okayed with Liberty. We got it okayed with Salem, and I took my spring semester there. So I was studying to be a physician assistant. By the time I was 20, I was in my first master's program.
Wow.
And I just decided I didn't want to operate on people. They were trying to fast track me into surgery. I was bright. My mother was a nurse. I was very into medicine. It made a lot of sense to me. I was acing everything, but my heart was breaking because I was spending less time in the music building for choir and voice lessons and more time in the hospitals, more and more time in the cadaver lab. That's friendly, you know? And I was getting to the point where I was like, I am 20 years old. I'm not even able to get a drink with my classmates. And I dropped that program with straight A's almost.
Wow.
And I went to the music building and I said, I'd like to major in music. They kind of laughed at me, but then I auditioned. And that was pretty much the end of that. So I ended up with a biology degree from Alderson Broaddus because I had taken all those classes. It was a ridiculous amount of classes. They were like, we got to give this girl something. She's been paying tuition for 3 years, you know? And then I said to the music department, I want to get my music degree in another 3 years. I'm not going to be here for another 4 years. And they were like, you can't level that fast. Little did they know who my grandmother was, who had been training me from a young age. So I came in at such a level that I then leveled enough. By the time I graduated, I had a dual degree. They're not partial degrees. That's a full biology degree. That's a full opera degree.
That is impressive.
I minored in creative writing. And then I took all my blank books that weren't blank anymore and went to Nashville, like I told you. Because you had to chase a dream. What was I going to do?
Wow.
I gave up being a doctor to be a musician. So, do I have regrets? Not a lot.
Not a lot.
I don't like to live in regret. My life is not about regret. It's about things. Maybe it is.
It's about the experience.
It is about the experience.
And if you're not, like I told my wife, we were like, yeah, she worries.
I wish I had more money.
Yeah, that's
basically it. Yeah.
But I told her,
you might
I
wonder
said,
about that. Yeah, I do wish I had more money.
Yeah.
But don't we all?
The memories. That's
you
what
can't.
It's about.
That's what I'm saying. You can't take those.
You can't take that from anybody. Yeah. So moving on.
Well, maybe I should play a song.
Next?
Well, we were talking about playing a Miley Cyrus song, so I think we should take a break and take a song.
Yeah,
I think you've got a few questions left there, but I've still got several songs.
Yeah, so go ahead and do this one, and we'll do another one right now.
Ooh, that's getting kind of out of tune. Excuse me. That's what happens. I don't know if you know what's going on here. I'll explain it to you. There's a tuner in the side of this guitar. There we go. See, I knew I could hear it.
That looks like an expensive piece of equipment.
It is. This is my baby.
I believe it.
Because I, was a full-time, there it is. I was a full-time music therapist in Fort Lauderdale for a while.
The more you tell me, it sounds like...
There we go.
Like, the more you tell me about your life, it's like you've lived several different lives all in one life.
I get that a lot. That's why my brain is kind of like overwhelmed at times.
And before you start, I want to ask you about the pick thing.
Yeah, so here, let's have a little guitar.
That's bugging me, but if I don't ask, I'm going to forget. You got two different picks.
Yeah, so so here. This is a tuner in the guitar. I was getting ready to explain what that's about. Okay. So that if you get the guitar warm, cold, it's rainy and cold today, and it's affecting the strings and it's affecting the wood. So it's constantly moving. This is not a static instrument. This is not like an electronic keyboard where you hit a note and it's definitely going to hit that note every time. No. These strings are live. They are real. They are thick and thin, and they just get out of tune. So I have a tuner in the side of my guitar, and I've got that particularly because I wanted a Taylor guitar. It sounds beautiful. This is made out of koa wood. It's so soft.
That is soft. That's beautiful.
And here, hold on a second. Lift it. Hold it by the neck and just lift it. Now, hold on.
Light.
Yeah, it's so light.
That is really
they use
light.
it. They make canoes out of it in Hawaii. Now, hold on to it and feel this. A strap. It's solid leather and weighs almost as much as the guitar.
That is heavy.
So this is all built because I knew I needed something professional, and I needed something light because I carried this on my back in and out of a hospital, people's hotel rooms. That's bad.
That didn't sound good.
That did not sound good. No. I gotta go on. The picks. So that you have different thicknesses of picks. So you'll get a lighter sound if you play with a lighter pick. But that's not what I brought it for. I brought that for another song. This is my favorite pick. They're 0.73 millimeter Martins. See how much clearer that sounds?
Yeah.
So I want you to hear it. We were good, we were gold, kind of dream that can't be sold. We were right till we were, built a home and watched it burn. I didn't want to leave, you know, I didn't want to lie. I started to cry, but then remembered I can buy myself flowers, write my name in the sand, talk to myself for hours, say things you don't understand. I can take myself dancing and I can hold my own hand. Yeah, I can love me better than you can. Can love me better, I can love me better, babe. Can love me better, I can love me better, babe. Name my nails, cherry red, match the roses that you left. No remorse, no regret, I forgive every word you said. That I didn't want to leave you, that I didn't want to lie. I started to cry, but then remembered I can buy myself flowers, write my name in the sand, talk to myself for hours, say things you don't understand. I can take myself dancing and I can hold my own hand. Yeah, I can love me better than you can. Can love me better, I can love me better, babe. Can love me better, I can love me better, babe. I can love me better, I can love me better, babe. Can love me better, I can love me better, babe. I didn't want to leave you, no, I didn't want to cry. Started to cry, but then remembered I can buy myself flowers, write my name in the sand, talk to myself for hours, say things you don't understand. I can take myself dancing, knowing I can't hold my own hand. Yeah, I can love me better than. Yeah, I can love me better than you can. Can love me better, I can love you better, babe. Can love me better, I can love you better, babe. Can love me better, I can love me better, babe. Can love me better, I can love me better, baby.
Awesome. Freaking awesome.
You gotta let some Miley just take you there.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am. Next question. We'll get right into the next one. What was it like juggling your music career, going to school and working all at the same time?
It was mind-blowing. I was literally talking to somebody about this earlier today, just about how when I was in Nashville and I was doing this recording, I was working at Judge Bean's Barbecue. It's a barbecue joint in Brentwood, Tennessee. The fifth song on the record is actually about that barbecue place. We had 4 really solid songs that were good to go, and we needed one more. And I was like, this song is called To All the Waitresses in Nashville. It's probably my least played song on the record, but it is about Judge Bean's Barbecue. And, then I worked at the Kroger Pharmacy, and then I worked at Ralph Lauren, and, just some other places. It just was a lot.
Wow.
Because I was from Salem, West Virginia. My father was a pastor. My mother was a nurse. I wasn't getting Taylor Swift money to be out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was hard to pay my rent. It's hard to keep that car running. Living on a dream, as Tom Petty would say.
Definitely understand that. Definitely. wrestling and music kind of go together. It's kind of like you're out on the road. You got to figure out how you're going to get your next meal and everything. Find out gigs. It's a pain in the ass.
It kind of is.
But we do
I love
it for the love of it.
That's right. I was trying to decide what song I should play next.
Play whatever you want next.
How long are we going on for?
However long you want to go. I have 1, 2, 3 more songs.
Oh, okay.
Or more questions. I mean, 3 more questions to ask. And if anybody out there, if there's anybody watching, for some reason my dang screen zoomed in. I can't see how many people we have watching.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah. More technical crap. More technical crap.
You know, you probably like. I don't want to mess it up. It's working. So never mind.
Yeah, I don't want to mess it up.
Who cares?
Either.
That don't matter.
I tried zooming it out like how you zoom out. I tried that.
That looks good.
Yeah.
So. This is a fun one. I have this on my YouTube channel. And old man turned 98. He won the lottery and died the next day. It's a black fly in your Chardonnay. It's a death row party, 2 minutes too late. Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? It's like rain on your wedding day. It's the free ride when you've already paid. It's the good advice that you just didn't take. And who would have thought it figures just to play it safe? Was afraid to fly. He packed his suitcase, kissed his kids goodbye. He waited his whole damn life to take that flight. And as the plane crashed down, he thought, well, isn't this nice? And isn't it ironic? Don't you think? It's like rain on your wedding day. It's the free ride when you've already paid. It's good advice that you just didn't take. And who would have thought it figures? Well, life is a funny way of helping you out when you think everything's going wrong and everything's going right. Life is a funny way of helping you out when you think everything's okay, but everything blows up in your face. It's a traffic jam when you're already late. It's a no-smoking sign on your cigarette break. It's like 10,000 spoons when all you need is a knife. It's meeting the man of my dreams, then meeting this beautiful wife. Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? A little too ironic. Yeah, I really do think it's like rain on your wedding day. It's the free ride when you've already paid. It's good advice that you just didn't take. And who would have thought it
That was one of my favorite 90s songs.
I know it was one of mine too. That's what I was saying. I used to have that cassette tape, and it was pirated. I didn't even have the money for a real Alanis Morissette tape. It was a fake copy tape.
You probably held the microphone.
Don't sue me, Alanis. I love you. I love you. I'm so sorry. I was so young and broke.
I got asked if I was drinking again by my buddy John in the comments, and I said no, Red Bull.
I saw that.
That's
a Red Bull. This is vitamin water.
I don't drink beer anymore. I'm over a year, little over a year and a half, probably.
And I am so proud of you.
I count the days and I don't know how long, so I don't.
Right. Wonderful. Once you're away from it and on the other side of it, that day counting is real though. In the beginning, go to your Celebrate Recovery. Go to your AA meetings. For God's sakes, go. It is hard day by day. Sometimes it's hour by hour.
Mark said, let's hear Purple Rain.
You know what? I would like to do another lady song.
Yeah, go ahead.
One more.
Absolutely.
Because now that we're talking about all this, and I haven't played this on a stage ever, it's again in the YouTube things, like, but I really got into this song around COVID time. I got to be honest.
Okay.
Because I was on the other side of everything. I had done the Nashville thing. I had done the Miami thing. I'd done the Fort Lauderdale thing, and it had all literally blown up in my face by singing through that mask 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
So if you ask me if I have any regrets, I don't regret becoming a music therapist. I regret
the mask.
Don't get me started on the mask and the government and this conspiracy. I don't want to talk about it. Just know, music gets me through it. I'm back. I'm okay. I'm all right. But like, it was bad, and I had to come home. In case you're wondering, why did you come back here? Well, this is my home. Salem, West Virginia is my home. I have friends here, and it's cool. But here's a song that somebody named Adele wrote. Yeah, I'm going to be brave, and I'm going to try some Adele.
I like this one. I already know what you're going for.
It's me. I was wondering if after all these years you'd like to me to go over everything. They say that time's supposed to heal ya, but I ain't done much healing. Hello, can you hear me? I'm in California dreaming about who we used to be when we were younger and free. I've forgotten how it felt before the world fell at our feet. There's such a difference between us and a million miles. Hello from the other side. I must have called 1,000 times to tell you I'm sorry for everything that I've done. When I call, you never seem to be home. Hello from the outside. At least I can say that I tried to tell you I'm sorry for breaking your heart. But it don't matter, it clearly doesn't tear you apart anymore. Hello, how are you? It's so typical for me to talk about myself. I'm sorry. I hope that you're well. Did you ever make it out of that town where nothing ever happened? It's no secret that the both of us are running out of time. Hello from the other side. I must have called 1,000 times to tell you I'm sorry for everything that I've done. When I call, you never seem to be home. Hello from the outside. I must have called 1,000 times to tell you I'm sorry for breaking your heart. But it don't matter, it clearly doesn't tear you apart anymore. 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 Now hello from the other side. I must have called 1,000 times to tell you I'm sorry for everything that I've done. But when I call, you never seem to be home. Now hello from the outside. I must have tried 1,000 times to tell you I'm sorry for breaking your heart. But it don't matter, it clearly doesn't tear me apart anymore.
Beautiful voice. I love it. I love it. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, occasionally I trip up on a lyric or two, but that's a long song.
It is a long song.
I felt it was more important to be into it than to be looking at my screen.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely.
I know it takes a moment.
Yes, I couldn't hit it.
Well, if I didn't know how to hit a high note, then my opera degrees were in vain. And Otis and Broadus and my Grammy never taught me a thing. But that's not true.
Nope.
So
You have a lot of talent. A lot of talent. I love
a
it.
lot of do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do's. I'll tell you that.
Yes, absolutely.
A lot of that. Well, let's get a question. I need to.
Yeah.
I gotta let my voice rest for a second out of that.
How
Woo.
many songs have you wrote? How many songs have you wrote?
I don't know if I can count.
That's a Sarah question.
I'm like a Tom Petty that way, man. I have hundreds of songs. Not all of them are recorded. That album that I had was a demo. It was just supposed to be a demo, but because it was recorded with the front of house engineer for Alice in Chains, it went from 0 to 100 real quick.
Oh.
You know, and it's hard to keep up with something that successful that quickly. So, yeah.
Yeah. So let's go.
What was the question again? I'm so sorry.
It was, how many songs have you written? How
Oh.
many songs have you wrote?
Yeah. Well, we can always go to the attic and climb up there and find all my blank books and count them up. But it'd be a lot of counting. It'd be a lot more. It'd be hours of research going through all those books. Because I also wrote a couple novels when I was like a preteen. The Unthinkable Truth, Book 1. Set that aside because that's 200 pages. The Unthinkable Truth, Book 2. Set that aside because that's about another 400. That was like an 800-page book as a 12-year-old. Who does that?
Wow, that's impressive.
It's never been published, of course, but it exists. I can show you the physical evidence on that.
Okay, well then the next question is which song that you have written is your favorite and why?
Little Regrets. Little Regrets. Yeah, that's the one.
Okay. Why is that the one?
Because it was about.
You can't say the name.
I can't say the name.
Don't say the name.
I'm afraid to even say the band that it's associated with.
Okay, well then don't say the band.
Well, but I'd kind of want to say because they already know. And like, I'm not going to run their name through the dirt, but they know who they are. And they know that they did me wrong. And they know that that song is about one member of their family that I ended up dating very seriously. And it was a serious thing. And it wasn't a secret, but, you know, it just, some things went on there that made me believe that maybe I needed to move on. So I'm going to see, Sarah asked for a song. So we're talking about it. I'm going to see if I can remember it.
Okay. And while you're performing that, I'm going to step out of the room for 1 second to take a bathroom break. Too much Red Bull. I apologize.
It's in major. That's what it is. That's it. I learned how to play the hammer technique. I always thought that, like, if you're going to learn something and you're going to learn a technique, write a song about it and then you won't forget it. So it only took me a second. Something in you is changing. I thought you were becoming a man. But now I know there are dreams in your head that not everyone understands.